You're listening to the Meltdown.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 18 of the Meta Meltdown. Today is Thursday, September 22nd, 2016. The Meta Meltdown is a weekly 20-minute podcast about the current meta in Hearthstone. Each week we'll focus on a specific deck. This week we're doing Secret Paladin, or not, oh no! Secret Hunter. See, Nate gave me the thumbs up, and then, anyways. Secret Hunter, and we're providing our insight on how to path the deck in order to succeed on the ladder. My name is Dominic Silverddragn Nguyen. And I have, of course, my legendary co-host, Nate Wolter. How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. You almost had it. You were like at the 1 yard line, and then you just coughed up
It's
the ball.
so weird.
It's mental, man. You just gotta mess up the intro.
I know.
It's just not the Meta Meltdown.
I'm so used to Secret Paladin, even though it's been like months since we've had Secret Paladin. But I'm really happy to play Secret Hunter this week. It's a really fun deck. We'll talk about it in just a second. Yes. All right. So this week we're going to talk about our personal Hearthstone news, general Hearthstone news, the Tempostorm meta report number 13, and our new Vicious Syndicate data reaper report number 19. And then we have our Secret Hunter deck review. So Nate, what'd you do in Hearthstone this week?
This week I played Secret Hunter, obviously. Had a lot of fun with that, trying out the different variations of Secret Hunter. And then I also played some Rogue because I'm a glutton for pain and I'm trying to get that 9th golden hero still. I think I'm like 175 away, but it is awful. How about you?
I'm so sorry that like the latest expansion did nothing for Rogue, like almost nothing.
Schwashburglar? I mean, just the RNG-ness of that great card.
They tried. I don't know. Maybe internal testing. Anyways.
Deadly Fork?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Those are all great cards.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. So I played Secret Hunter, of course. It's super fun. I actually didn't get to play much Hearthstone. I just moved. If you guys can't tell because of my background, I'm currently at my girlfriend's house today. Or apartment, but you know. So I did that all week. And then I played the Tavern Brawl, which is super, super fun, of course. Really broken. I had a turn 1 ManaTide coin Tuskar TOtamicinto Flametounge, and he insta conceded, and that was my I was like, okay, this will be fun, and play like 50 more games. And then I played Secret Hunter. I didn't play 50. I played like 3. And then Secret Hunter I played this week. I didn't get to play until today when Nate gave me the list. It's super fun. If you guys are not a fan of Hunter, you'll be a fan of this deck. I hate Hunter with a passion, and this deck is super fun. It's very you don't board control more often than you just hit face, which is amazing. And I actually won all 3 of my games today because I had the Hunter quest, and so I am the proud owner of a 3-0, 100% win rate Secret Hunter deck.
That's wrong.
Wait, what?
Hunter, always go face.
Oh, I know, but
Smart play.
Anyways, we'll talk
You're
about
doing
it.
it wrong.
I know, clearly. You're gonna give them the wrong advice.
I don't know
here.
how you won 3-0. You just have to go face every time.
This deck is great, guys. Yeah. Anyways. So let's go to our ladder news. Now you can change your Battle.net name as many times as you want for $10 per change, which is fantastic because a lot of people change their names into really dumb things, and now they want to change it. Now Blizzard's gonna make tons of money off of you. It's great. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah, like in WoW, like if you want to do a character transfer to a different server, it's like $20, and it's probably
is it
just
really
like
that
a
much. Jesus.
click of a button just to do. Yeah, they just kill you on those charges. But that's why they are a massive company that gives us awesome video games.
It's true. I do enjoy my Blizzard. Which is what they're gonna rename Battle.net into, like Blizzard.
Yeah, I forget. It's like they're rebranding it into like Blizzard Technology. I don't think they've actually like officially announced what it is, but they just brought out like Blizzard Voices in like the beta.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally for our ladder news, well, not really ladder news, but congratulations to Hot Meowth. He was on our show recently, a friend of the show. He won the Summer HTC last weekend and he now qualifies for BlizzCon, so he's going to go there. He played amazingly. He beat like Tarai, I think, for the last match, right?
Tarai, yeah.
Yeah, which is like a really, really crazy player. He's really well known. But yeah, Hot Meowth, someone to look out for now. He's big leagues now, boys.
We've lifted him until the ultimate Hearthstone player. He now owes us his life.
He
and
needs
his soul.
Yeah, people need to come on our show so then they can go play in like tournaments and win.
It's just how it is.
That's how it is. Yeah, exactly. Let's go into our meta report. Nate, if you would please.
Yeah, we'll start with Tempostorm, number 13. All right, so Tier 1, there's 6 decks. We have, in the following order, Malygos Druid at number 1, Midrange Shaman, Tempo Mage, Aggro Shaman, Dragon Warrior, Token Druid. And for Secret Hunter, in Tier 4, we have at number 28, Secret Hunter. So that is where Tempostorm ranks Secret Hunter, which I guess we'll talk about it now because we're on the subject. But very funny, and we'll get to why it's funny here shortly. But Dom, what do you think about the rest of the decks? Do you think it's good order?
I like them. I haven't seen very much because I've been gonna play this week. I'm really surprised there's 6 Tier 1 decks. That's really neat actually to see. Sometimes we saw like 2 or not 2, but like 3 decks, 4 decks. Not very much past that. 6 of them this week is crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen 6.
Yeah, right. I've never seen 6 at all. So it's good to see diversity, kind of, right? I mean, there's 3 different classes. You have warrior, druid, and shaman or mage as well. So 4 different classes, but different decks. So you get to run into different things, and it's more of do you know what your opponent's playing? He played this card. This is this deck now, so you start to adjust. So I think I've always liked that part of Hearthstone, and it's what made Hearthstone really fun, figuring out what deck your opponent's playing and then playing against them. A lot of people will say like, oh, he needed those exact cards to win, but I mean, a lot of it's because you know what your opponent's playing. So that's what I really enjoy about Hearthstone. So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, it is nice that there are different classes that do really well, but here's my general summation of Tier 1. You're either going to play against Yogg, or you're going to play against Smork, mostly, except
That's
for like
true.
mid-range
Yeah.
Shaman is sort of an outlier, but again, they can punch you in the face for a lot. Yeah, so it's basically Yogg or Smork in my mind, so doesn't really seem that fun, although I am glad it's not just like Shaman, but we'll get to that dominance here shortly in the next one, which I guess I will lead into as well, unless you want to take it.
No, go ahead, please and thank you.
All right, so number 19, Vicious Syndicate Data Reaper Report. At Tier 1, we have 3 decks. Midrange Shaman at 53.9% win rate, Aggro Shaman at 53.39% win rate, Midrange Hunter at 53.07% win rate. And then in Tier 2, we have Secret Hunter at 51.93% win rate. And again, just going back to Tempostorm. So this is the 4th highest win rate on all the games throughout the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tempostorm rates this deck at number 28. So there's... I'm not really sure. Vicious Syndicate backs up their rankings, by statistics. I'm not really sure where Tempostorm was going with that. But anyway, not a big deal. And then number 5 is Yogg Druid at 51.32% win rate. So I think that's a little bit more what I was expecting with the Shaman. Those win rates are very Shaman-esque. That's what we've seen for the last month. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, until the Grand Tournament gets cycled out and we can get rid of Totem Golem and Tuskar Totamic.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at all by any of those decks?
Not really. I wasn't sure how well Secret Hunter would perform. I mean, I remember like today, maybe like an hour ago, I loaded up the deck, put it in, and I looked at the list and I was like, there are no minions. There's like Barnes and like Secret Keeper. So I was like, okay, well obviously you should have a Secret Keeper, but I didn't get a Secret Keeper at all in my starting hand for the 3 games that I played. But I still want all of them, and it's a really, really fun deck. I didn't know how well it was going to perform, though, especially with my like hatred of Hunter. So, but I mean, I'm really surprised to see, how low Tempostorm rates it, and it's good to see that statistically this deck is really up there for a Data Reaper report, and that my wins are not a fluke.
Yeah, I was really concerned, actually, because when I was putting together the show notes, I always check Tempostorm before the Data Reaper report, and I'm like, oh shit, did we pick a really bad deck to review this week? And then I looked at the Data Reaper report, and I was pretty glad to see the actual statistics backing the deck. So, good deck. I thoroughly enjoyed it as well, and I'm ready to get into more of the meat and potatoes of it.
Great, sounds good. Let's go into the deck review. Nate, would you mind?
Sure. So just some general notes here. Again, it's a 51.93% win percentage. Hunter itself counts for 15.24% of all the games on the ladder. It's the number 2 played class overall. And then Secret Hunter accounts for 5.8% of all the games on the ladder.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's definitely kind of a sleeper deck. Most people would check Tempostorm, and seeing as they usually just check tier 1, tier 2. You're not running into a lot of them as shown by Data Reaper 5.8, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not that high up there, but again, we've seen a lot lower decks that have done better. Like Secret Paladin, I think, was like 2% of all the games played on the ladder, so it's in a good little niche spot. I don't really think people know how to play it, play against it very well. And then the deck that we're reviewing is more mid to almost even late game. So, and I have seen some more aggro type Secret Paladin, or God, I said it, Secret Hunter decks. So it's a very hard deck to kind of anticipate exactly what you're playing against, I think, until someone does really well with it. So
Yeah, sounds good. Well, yeah, and we'll see how that is, because a lot of it relies on people not knowing what the traps are and how to deal with them, how to play and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through the deck list real quick. You have 2 Secret Keepers, 1 Tracking, 1 Bear Trap, 2 Cat Tricks, 2 Explosive Traps, 2 Freezing Traps, 2 Quick Shot, 1 Snake Trap, 2 Snipe, which is super fun, by the way, 2 Animal Companions, 2 Cloaked Huntress, 2 Eaglehorn Bow, 1 Barons, 2 Azure Drakes, 2 Savannah Highmane, 1 Curator, 2 Call of the Wild, and 1 Ragnaros the Fire Lord.
look at you.
Getting better every week, it's great. No, but now that I said that, I'm actually going to mess up, so for those of you who...
It's coming!
who watch the show consistently, yeah, no worries. Yeah, so that's the deck. It's obviously really spell heavy, trap heavy, and not that many minions. The one time I hit Barnes, I was hoping to get Rag, but I got Azure Drake, but whatever, it's all good. So let's get to the overview. With this deck, you're trying to gain early tempo advantages by playing Secret Keeper, Cloaked Huntresses with secrets, getting a lot of those out there. Playing multiple secrets means that your opponent has a harder time to guess exactly what secrets you're playing, so they can't play as well against you. You're gonna try to snowball your advantage in the mid game and the late game with Savannah Highmane, the Curator for draw, Rag for lethal, Call of the Wild for lethal, stuff like that. And yeah, the most important thing is to keep your opponents guessing your secrets. If they don't know how to play against you because you have secrets, they won't play optimally, and it might just be enough for you to eke out that win, which is like really, really fun. Yeah, and I just want to add something as well. The first 2 games that I played, I did not gain any early tempo advantage. I kept bow in my hand, and slowly my opponents couldn't guess what secrets I was playing, and that's how I got back into the game. And then I played my late game drops. So if you don't get Secret Keeper, because it's like one of the only things you want early in the game, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure you're playing optimally with what you have, usually secrets, and try to play your Cloaked Huntresses and stuff like that, and you'll probably do really well. Because again, most people do not know how to play against this deck. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add on top of that, it's not like Secret Paladin back in the day. You knew exactly like what 4 or 5 secrets they have, so you attacked. You knew a minion was going to get buffed. You knew the 2/1 was going to get revived. So you knew exactly how to play against it like every single time. With this, you're completely guessing. You're like, he has like 2 or 3 secrets. It's really hard. Is it going to be Cat Trap? Is it going to be Freezing Trap? So it's a lot tougher to play around. So you can even like psych your opponents out. Like you can bring your minions down to like 2 health if you have a trap on the board, so they're anticipating like Flame Strike, or not Flame Strike, but
Explosive Trap, yeah.
Explosive Trap, close enough. Totally different card and class, but yeah. So keep your opponents guessing.
It's fun, yeah, definitely. All right, Nate, would you please take us through the matchups?
Yes, sir. So good, bad, and ugly. Good, above a 55% win rate. It beats Freeze, Reno, and Tempo Mage, Anyfin and Control, Paladin, Miracle Rogue, Reno Lock, and then for Warrior it beats Combo, Control, and Dragon archetypes. So those are all pretty popular. And then going into bad, 35 to 45% win rate. We have Aggro Shaman, Midrange Shaman, and Zulok, also very popular.
Yeah.
So really, those three decks are keeping Hunter in check from just exploding all over the ladder. Not like
Thankfully.
yeah. Anyway, and then ugly, there are no bad ugly matchups. So
Yep.
yeah, it does pretty well.
Yeah, it does really, really well, and thankfully you're not seeing, too many shamans. It is the number one play class, I believe. The
It
shaman or
is
is it
the
water? Yeah.
shaman is yeah.
So, I mean, unfortunately, if you're running into those, they're not unwinnable, but it is a harder time. I won against the shaman. It took the longest time. It was the third game I played, and I curved out really well, and I won that. So it's still probable, or possible, sorry, to win as long as you're playing correctly. Let's talk about cards that stand out. Secret Keeper, obviously, super big MVP. You're playing a lot of secrets in this deck. You get a turn 1 Secret Keeper, turn 2 Secret, more secrets. It's going to be a huge buff. They have to deal with it. I love Snipe. Snipe it, I think, is like one of the cards that people just do not play around. Because back in the day, you used to play around um, explosive, freezing, right? Some people play around Snake. No one plays around Snipe for whatever reason. It's like the best thing ever. I love Snipe. Snipe is great. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, some other cards that I really liked. One, they're basically cards that you would never see in a Hunter unless you're just playing stupid Hunter decks. So,
This one?
the Curator, for one, it's a taunt card. Its stats aren't very good for its actual mana cost, but the value is just keeping your hand full with Azure Drakes and
Savannah
other
Highmane?
Savannah Highmane, of course. Yeah, thank you for the
No
help.
worries. Yeah.
Eliu. Azure Drake, which we just talked about, you never see that in Hunter. It doesn't really do that well as far as like spell damage, but it does work well with. No,
What?
you're supposed to name the spell for me.
Oh, sorry.
Quick shot.
Oh, okay, yeah, quick shot. Yeah, sorry.
All right,
I
you
thought I
ruined
didn't know
it.
you were playing. I didn't know you were
No,
playing
no,
it to
no,
me.
no. That's fine. That's fine. You ruined it. Almost gone. And then last card is Reg, the Light Lord or Fire Lord.
The Fire Lord.
Jesus.
I'll take it from here.
This has been a fun show.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you guys next week. Tech choice cards. Go ahead.
So this kill shot, which is really good. If you're finding that you need to do a little bit more damage, if you don't have enough to the face damage, if you like that kind of hunter, game, then you should play a different deck or play kill shot, one of the two. And then yeah, just see which traps are working out for you, which traps aren't working out for you. For me, I don't really like Snake Trap. I don't think it's one of the best traps in this particular deck, seeing as there are not that many minions. But it's really good. You can get some really good stuff off of if they're playing Snake Trap and you pull it off. You call it the Wild for lethal. That's really neat. But again, it depends. If you're seeing a lot of more aggro, right? Maybe you put in. Well, you already have two exclusive traps, so don't swap those out. But it just depends, depending on what you see in the meta. Like it just yeah. And if you have opponents that are playing not super spell heavy decks, then you don't need Cat Trick because you don't ever trigger it, stuff like that, right? But keep Snipe. Snipe is amazing. I love Snipe. Snipe is the best.
People get salty, and I know from
salty.
experience because I get salty when my card gets sniped. Like when they play a Barnes turn 4, they're like, "Oh yeah, huge tempo." Nope.
Get
Snipe,
outta
biatch.
here. Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, exactly. It's a really, really fun trap. I love Snipe. Just don't play around it. It's great. Let's go to starting hands and mulligans. For aggro, you're looking for Secret Keeper. If you have Cloaked Huntress, you want any secret. Like the Tempo Swing is amazing, and if you can play multiple secrets, like we've said before, it's really, really good. So people can't figure out what exactly you're playing. Quick Shot is really good if you need board control. I prefer the Eagle Horn Bow. But that's just because I find myself constantly drawing into secrets, by Nate, and and of course Animal Companion and Eagle Horn Bow if you curve out really well. If you get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curve, 1, 2, 3, 4 curve, or the 2, 3, 4, you're just playing on curve stone. You're gonna do really well. Nate, do you want to take them through control matchups?
Yeah, so pretty much it's exactly what you said. With this deck, you're always looking to gain the tempo, even if you're playing against control or if you're playing against aggro. So you just want that early board control and kind of snowball it into your mid-range where you finish them off. With that said, basically just keep all the same cards that Dom mentioned, but there are certain cards in certain scenarios that'll do really well. So if you're playing against like a control warrior, I would usually keep like a Savannah Highmane because that card just wrecks warrior every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And you know you're usually going to get some other early board control, especially since control is pretty slow.
Yep.
So just cards like that. I mean, you kind of have to play around with the deck for a few games to see exactly what you want to keep against certain matchups. But again, you're probably not going to anticipate its control, especially in this Dragon Warrior meta.
Yeah.
So just keep what Dom said, and you will be good.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Nate. Do you have any final thoughts on this deck?
Yes. So we did talk about different versions. There is an aggro version out there.
Oh.
I absolutely hated it.
Don't like aggro.
Oh my god, it was terrible. I was getting rocked. I think I went like 1-4 with it, and then I looked up this deck by Vlps. He's a very good professional player, and it's fun. I mean, cards like the Curator to me are fun, and I mean Rag is fun. There's not really Hunter. A lot of the time is RNG based. When you have like your Elix and you randomly like draw a creature, or like Barnes or Animal Companion, or any of your huge toads with the 1 damage spread randomly, or Fiery Bats. So about half of those cards are out of here. So it is starting to hone in on your skill rather than actual RNG. So I do like that aspect of the more slower control type Hunter. How about you? What are your final thoughts?
I really like it. Like I said, if you don't like Hunter, this is not a typical Hunter deck. You're going to play a little bit more board control and finish them off with your high value cards. That's really fun. Call the Wild into like, you know. I like the Curator. I'm glad I got to draw cards and then play Azure Drake, draw more cards, and you know, outvalue my opponents. I love value. So that's super fun. And yeah, I'm glad I got to play the Cloaked Huntress. I think it's a really, really fun deck. Hopefully it gets a little bit more time in the spotlight. Even if it doesn't, that's actually better for you. People just want to know how to play against it, and you'll get more wins that way. So those are my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just to answer one of the questions in the chat room real quick. So, question was, how is card draw on this deck, and does it matter? So, card draw always matters because you always want to like keep your hand full, keep your options open, typically. And then card draw is pretty good. You have cards like Azure Drake, the Curator, but you can burn your hand pretty quick if you get Cloaked Huntress and then play like 3 secrets right away. So you have to really hope that you're drawing well, or that your tempo is really just going to push you over and give you really good board advantage, so you can just beat your opponent down sooner than later.
Yeah, I've had really
Pretty
good
good
luck.
question.
Yeah, I have really good luck with the drawing. I've got my Zodrix when on 5, Savannah Heinemann's on 6, Call the Wild Ragnaros is on 8. Yeah,
You're the worst kind of person.
No, yeah. But I think I was running when I played Curator. You always draw the Azure Drake and the Savannah Heinemann, I believe, right? Yeah. So I've always drawn it. So it's really good on card draw, especially on 7. And actually, the first 2 games I played, I was losing. I had like 5 health. Curator saved my butt, with its taunt. So, and it drew me cards that won me the game. And also, we forgot to mention that there is 1 tracking in this deck, which is really important. I had you don't want to play it early. You want to save it till later. And you want to find cards that really win you the game. That's how I won my 3rd game. Actually, I had 9 mana, played tracking. Call of the Wild was one of the things. Played Call of the Wild, had exact lethal. I am one of the worst people. It's great. I love this deck. It's fantastic. Please try it out. Yeah. Anyways, if you're watching this VOD later or you're downloading this later, you can find this and any of our previous shows at theMetaMeltdown.com. You can find us at twitch.tv/MetaMeltdown every Thursday at 7 p.m. PST. But actually, next week, Nate's going on vacation because he's a hardworking man and deserves it. We're gonna do our show next week at Wednesday at 7 p.m. And then we're actually gonna change the time after that based on how Nate goes. And also, I have school now, so that's unfortunate. But we'll see us on Thursdays usually at 7:15, 7:30, maybe a little bit later, but you'll see us every Thursday.
Schools for fools, man.
Oh
Get
no,
priorities
no.
straight.
Dude! I went into the real world. Oh man, I love school now. School's fantastic. But yeah, you can find us at Twitter/YouTube/ our website. Our Twitter is at MetaMeltdown, at the MetaMeltdown. I'm sorry. Our YouTube is the MetaMeltdown, and our email is metameltdownpodcast@gmail.com. Tune in next week. We're going to talk about Mali/Yogg Druid, one of our favorite cards. Yogg Druid. Yeah, it's gonna be great. He picked it because there's Mali in it. I picked it because there's Yogg in it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So yeah, thank you for everyone who's listening. We'll be back next Wednesday. Any final thoughts, Nate?
Can't wait for Yogg Druid.
Alright guys, we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.